In terms of those that are aspiring to a career in law, whether it's as a solicitor, barrister, etc., any real advice that you've got for students while they're at that law degree stage or the GDL stage?
I think the most important, I mean, there is no one set path would be my first piece of advice. I mean, there's probably 2 points coming out here. The first is there's no set path. And don't necessarily expect to be in complete control of the direction that your career takes you in. And the best story I can give to illuminate this, when my best friend and I finished university at slightly different times at different universities, we both had the same idea. We both wanted to be barristers. We both wanted to do litigation, civil litigation or criminal law litigation. Absolutely. That was our 100% set absolute. No compromises, nothing but this will do, nothing else. Of course, we didn't really have a clear idea as to what would make us happy or what we would truly want. Right now, I'm an academic at a university, and my friend is a partner in a private client firm specializing in probate, and also a deputy district judge. So we're both as happy as we could possibly be with where we've ended up in our careers. If you told us that at the end of university, this is where we're going to end up, we would probably have said, "Really? Is that really where we're going to that?" Because that wasn't what we had in our minds. So don't necessarily assume you're going to be in complete control of where you're going, and see where the journey takes you, because it will take you to unexpected destinations. That doesn't mean they're bad. Quite often, that's the good stuff. And it certainly has proven for me, and it certainly has proven for my friend. So
Mm.
that would be the first piece of advice. And the second would be in a similar vein: get as much experience as you can. I don't care what it is. I don't care how relevant or irrelevant it may seem to your career in law, but try to get as much experience as you can, because it's not necessarily about finding what works for you as much as finding what you don't enjoy. If you do a week's work experience in family law and decide, I absolutely hate that, that's a good indication. It means you can probably say family law may not be for you. That's not a week wasted. That's absolutely a successful week. And so get as much experience. And I think it's really important to understand as well, it's really difficult now because a lot more students work, often quite close to full-time hours at university. It's a much harder financial journey now. And
Mm.
so it can be quite difficult to get experience, but still, if you can get experience, whether it's remote, whether it's in person, whether it's paid, whether it's voluntary, whether it's a couple of days snatched here and there, I really encourage everyone to do that, because you will get an understanding of what you want, where you want to go, and just as importantly, where you don't want to go. And that will give you, apart from anything else, information, and make sure that you make informed decisions.
Yeah, brilliant advice there. Couldn't have said that better myself. As you say, keep an open mind all the way throughout. I think that quite often that you can get a lot of people that are quite narrow-minded and think, right, that's it. I want to be a chancery law barrister, and that's all there is. Whereas, you need to keep your mind open and think, well, what about family law? What about being a solicitor? What about and by trying these other experiences, that's how you find what you don't like, but also you might come across a hidden gem that you didn't even think about.
Absolutely. I mean, and again, going back to my friend's experience, the reality is people say crime will never go away. Probate's never going to go away either. So it's an area of law. Nobody goes into law school, I don't think, maybe 1 in 100, saying, I want to go away from here as a private client lawyer. But actually, it's a really good path to go in, because the work will always be there. And realistically, most people do enter law school looking to enter a career. It's not a path I've ever taken, but there are lots of paths out there that can be very fulfilling, very satisfying, and can really help you to enjoy your experiences in the law.
Definitely. I remember it in my first week at law school, actually. And one of the things that we were told in one of these sort of introductory welcome lectures is that no matter what happens in the economy, lawyers will always sort of land on their feet, because there's always something there for lawyers to do. With certain caveats, but as a general rule, you can be quite flexible as a lawyer, and there's always something that you can turn your hand to. So
Yeah.
yeah, so completely agree.
And again, most of the skills are very transferable. So
Precisely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things as well. Obviously yourself and your friend both ended up in the law within some context. I've got
yeah,
a number of friends, and you probably have as well, and they had grand dreams of being sort of a lawyer at law school, but have ended up in completely different career paths, recruitment, business, etc. And that law degree really is quite helpful, I think.
Absolutely. And again, it was something that even when I did the law degree, it was sold as this is a, it was the degree I think people did if they didn't know what they want to do. I think there is still wisdom to that. And if you approach it in a very proactive fashion, there are lots of transferable skills that can apply to lots of different areas and careers.